titles in thriller films. The first title what we looked at was The Flesh Eater. The title used for this thriller film looked as if somebody had just got a knife and had sliced open from his chest. This gave the very first impression that this thriller was going to be a horror thriller, judging by the way it actually looked like a crime thriller and it looked like flesh, and by the title itself, The Flesh Eater. We thought that it would have, that if it was a crime thriller, it would go along the ways of a sadistic murder, such as Jack the Ripper mutilating people, and the actual text could be like blood, or could actually it looks like blood and could actually resemble blood on a wall. And the title is white and it's on a plain black background, which is very plain. However, it draws me, target audience, in, and it sucks us in and to actually find out about the film, and it sort of gives like a base overview of what the film's actually about by giving you hints such as the actual font or the colour of the text or the way the background's done or the actual name of the title itself. The next thriller film which I looked at was American Psycho. My eyes went straight to the red splattered across the words. This looked like blood from a gunshot, so possibly I'm thinking this thriller film is a crime thriller, such as maybe a mafia crime thriller based in America, or something to do with mafias or drug cartels or just big illegal gangs really, such as the mafia or the cartel. This title again is quite plain with black lettering and a plain white background. However, it has what it looks like blood over the lettering, which draws the audience into what the thriller is actually about, just like it drew me in. However, the word psycho itself could actually suggest a murderer who kills people for fun, not just a cartel member maybe. Maybe it's a sort of sadistic murderer, like the first one, the Flesh Eater, and it enjoys killing people for fun just because of the word psycho. Whereas America either suggests that the person's American or that it's based in America itself. The third thriller film I looked at was Insidious, which, just by having a look at the word insidious, suggests a sadistic theme, judging by the font used as well as the shade of red, which was sort of like a flame red, but it was more like blood itself, or I feel like it was meant to represent blood as in the sadistic symbol because of the font used. It really makes me think myself as it's going to be a film about something which involves a main plot or storyline which is sadistic. However, the red is more fire red, as if someone has just gotten a red hot blade and written Insidious along a plain black wall. Above the word Insidious, written in plain, smaller, old-fashioned font, however, are the words, "The further you travel, the darker it gets," which sort of suggests either a sci-fi thriller film or a thriller film which involves some sort of dark, scary horror film, where you have to go, where it's either going to go to the end of time itself and you're away from everything you know, everything you love, which is the further you travel, the darker it gets. To me, that would make sense. Or it's a dark, scary horror thing to it, which is people running away from this murderer who's obviously murdering people, but the further you go, the closer he gets to you, a bit like. The fourth thriller title film which I looked at was The Last House on the Left. The first thing I noticed was the word house in red with blood stains coming off it, spreading just onto the word, only just on the words the and left, and going to the lower right hand corner of the actual title itself. This title suggests, well, certainly suggests a crime thriller involving a murder or murders within a house, and it suggests that it's the last place where a victim goes to and they eventually get killed, and it could be the blood coming off the house, and it could be their blood coming off the house. The Leicestrin is again on a plain background, which really makes the red stand out on the plain background again. The last thriller film title I looked at was Gone Girl, which is a little bit different from the other thrillers titles I looked at because it wasn't on a plain white or black background to make the Leicestrin stand out more. The title itself, Gone Girl, was on the left hand side of the screen, and the background is what it looks like a lake with and the shot was taken from a ferry. It's meant to be a first person camera shot taken from a ferry looking over at the lake, and this thriller film suggests either that it's a thriller film about where a girl gets kidnapped or the girl runs away from home and gets in a lot of danger. But altogether, looking into titles, I've realised that most titles are on a plain background, such as a plain black or plain white background, with the letter in the opposite, like white or black or red. So something that really stands out in these backgrounds to draw the audience in, and the font really pays a huge effect to it, and it really creates the atmosphere about the whole thriller film itself. Because if the font was sadistic, sort of this sadistic font, and the film was sadistic, was built about sadistic stuff, sadistic crime, and it was the plain black background, and the sadistic font was red, like a blood burning, boiling red. It could really draw the audience into actually having a closer look and actually finding out more about the actual thriller film itself.